Well, good afternoon everyone and welcome to a very wavy and crazy day here in Las Americas in Tenerife at the moment. The whole of Tenerife pretty much the same. I've just done a bit of a live stream earlier and the weather has progressively got a little bit worse. We've had a few bits of rain, we've got a bit of a cloud going on, we've got Calima, but the main thing to talk about are these big giant waves here. So El Camison Beach has been pretty much decimated and some massive waves coming in. So I just want to jump on, I'll quickly walk along, show you exactly what is happening here, and also just to point out, if you missed the live stream, some very important safety tips and stuff to do with the oceans, swimming over here, beaches. If you're coming on holiday, something to be very careful of. But I've lived here for 10 years and this is probably only the second time I've seen waves like this. Probably about 5-6 years ago was the last time I saw anything like this. The last time I saw a beach get swept away like it has on El Camison. So I'll show you a little bit of what's going on here at the moment, and hopefully this is going to clear up. But some huge waves coming in. Look at the size of that behind me. So we're just on the beach here in front of Park Santiago 3. Look at the size of that wave. Now it probably doesn't come out much on camera, but they look about 10-12 feet. Absolutely massive. We're going to walk along this way and have a look at El Camison. Now all of these beaches are currently now closed at the moment. They've closed them all off. The police were here earlier and they have now closed them. You can see just in the distance there is the red flag. Now that's what I wanted to talk to you about, because very important when you're over here on holiday that you pay attention to the colour of the flags. So today, red, you cannot swim. You should not be in those waters. But they do also have yellow, which means swim with caution, and they have green, which obviously means you're clear to swim. Now earlier on we did see Las Vistas Beach with half red, half yellow. We just got to be very careful and pay attention to this. I did see a post and got a message earlier that there's a lad got knocked over and swept out in Del Duque. He's fine and everything, but it must have been very scary for the parents. One of the kids was swept off his feet and washed out. But look at this, El Camison here has taken a real bit of a battering. We've got umbrellas up here. We've got the remnants of an umbrella there. There's the top of it, and the bottom of it there. There was a bin knocking around. And you can see this real haze. So we've got Calima, we've got cloud, we've got loads of sea spray now as well. Salt everywhere. Really strange, unusual weather. So you can see this has all been closed. And I'm going to walk further along and just show you the beach bar. I'll try and include some clips from earlier. I took a quick TikTok. The water has now moved away, but this beach bar was like fully underwater. And believe it or not, people are still sitting there having a drink. But yeah, they got it quite bad. Let's carry on further down and show you the rest of the beach here. So here you go, you can see they're actually digging out the beach bar there, shoveling out all the sand that was washed all over it. And they had all the tables and chairs at the back here. So they're working on getting it all out. The tide has thankfully moved out a little bit. So the big waves are still coming in, as you can see behind me. But the tide has moved out. This was all full of water before. I was quite scared when it was coming in. They were so strong. You can actually see all kinds in the water down there still floating around. Don't know what any of that is. Probably more umbrellas by the looks of it here on El Camison, which is a bit of a shame because this is one of my favourite beaches. I love the golden imported sand, but a lot of it now will have been washed away with those waves. And thankfully the good news is they will be out here in the morning fixing all this up. It won't stay damaged and dirty or anything for long. They will be out here cleaning all of this up in the morning to get everyone back out enjoying themselves. But it's very misleading. It looks so calm out there, doesn't it? But every now and again huge swells come in. It was really swirling around, a lot of rip currents and undercurrents going on. We'll carry on along across to Las Vistas Beach next and have a little look at that one. Just a quick little bonus video. There's a lot of people do miss out on the live stream, so just wanted to show you what had gone on today. Very unusual weather. It's been very muggy, hot, sticky, sweaty, clammy. You can see it just feels very, you know, like claustrophobic sort of things. Humidity 71%, very high humidity for Tenerife. That I just made up the rest of the beach clubs okay. I think they're scooping it out. It was looking really bad before. It was under a good few feet of water earlier. So you can see here the beach all closed. There is still lifeguards making sure no one goes in, and the police were here earlier when they first closed it. So they are quite on it. Everyone has stayed nice and safe. Not sure what's floating in the water over there. There's something in there floating around, getting washed in. Yeah, I've just not seen it like this for a long time. Crazy ocean today. Crazy. There's still some boat trips out there earlier. You can see still some jet skis going on out there. Out actually in the ocean's not bad. It's actually here on the coast where it's just been washing right up and sweeping the beach away. Bins, all kinds floating around. This looks like it's some of the decking that's out there just floating around. Yeah, just to show you the importance of paying attention to these flags. If it's a yellow flag, make sure you're a strong swimmer. And if it's red, make sure you do not go in. Make sure you look after yourselves. So here we are then. This is Los Cristianos Beach. Now some people are still braving it on here, but most of the beach now has been packed up. This was open earlier today, however, they did start to close it down. There is one section of the beach, this is what I'm talking about. I mentioned this on the live as well. Oof, big wave. This section here, you can see red flag. Let me just zoom in on that. You can see here, red flag. That means you cannot swim. Now this is the same beach. It's quite a big one. Now over there, you can see in the distance, that one is a yellow flag, so you are allowed to swim there with caution. So that's why it's important to pay attention to those flags. You've got one beach here, two different coloured flags on each end. So that's why it's really important to pay attention. You have got the lifeguards there making sure no one goes in the water in this section, but very important to pay close attention to the flags. They change throughout the day as well, depending on the weather. Some days you can start with a lovely green flag, and within a few hours you can be a red flag or a yellow flag. You just always got to be careful. A lot of people do drown every single year in the Canaries. So do always pay close attention. This beach hasn't fared too badly. The water did come right up to the wall of the promenade further along earlier on. It just seems to come in swells. It'll go calm for a bit. Next minute, whoomph, it'll come all the way in. Yeah, very abnormal. The weather is just weird. Hazy, cloudy, sunny. There's a few spots of rain before. People are saying there's a storm brewing. If you've seen it like this before, let me know what the worst waves you've seen. This is probably some of the worst oceans I've seen in terms of the beaches, the way it's coming right up. Last time this happened was about 5-6 years ago. So we've seen any waves like this from my experience. So you can see here where the water came right in. A little bit of a paddling pool for the kids to play in, but the water did come all the way up. You can see hear the lifeguards on their whistles there, making sure no one is in the water where they shouldn't be. But yeah, it actually came all the way up, all through these sunbeds. People were going mad, scrambling for their towels and their belongings. Flip-flops were flying everywhere. So it has calmed right down in the last hour or so. Right, so you can see here, this is the section that's opened, and you've got a red and a yellow flag right next to each other there. So you can see where it's washed right up here, but They have kept this little section here, which is protected by the rocks, open. Obviously swim with caution when you do want to play in the waves. I can feel a few spots of rain. We could get a little bit of a storm, bit of a rainstorm later tonight as well. But as I've said though, the good news is they're right on it with these beaches, and this will all be cleaned up nice, ready for tomorrow. They don't leave it like this for long. It will all be fixed and put back right, and the sunbeds cleaned and everything in no time. But yeah, it's just a little bit just to show you what was going on. It was quite interesting to see the size of the waves, but also just to highlight how important it is to pay attention to the flags. We get rip currents, we get big waves, rip tides, and you just have to be very, very cautious. It's not just the swimming pool, it's not just the wave pool at Siam Park. It can change very quickly, and there's a lot of aspects to it. So do be very careful. We're going to pop round and have a quick look at Los Cristianos. That's probably the most protected beach you could have gone to today. So we'll have a quick look at that as we head around. But look how busy this section is. Everyone enjoying the waves and stuff, having fun. But then we're getting to Los Cristianos. I don't know if you can see it. You can probably see the spots on the floor. It is starting to rain. Some quite big spots there. Now, a good rainstorm would probably clear all of this away tomorrow. We'd be a bit more back to normal. So I would welcome a bit of a rainstorm, clear everything away. And you can see, look at this in Los Cristianos here. We've got our own little new swimming pool here. Look at that. It just shows you how high the tide came all the way in. It's created a nice little natural sea pool, if you fancy it. Just look how grey it is on the camera. Almost looks like I've got a filter on, but I haven't. You see the spots of rain in the water now. You see it's starting to rain. But yeah, all of this will be cleared up tomorrow, and they'll dig a bit of a channel, get that water gone. Look at that. Wow. So that's how far the water's come up, even in the middle of the beach there. Look at that. Middle of the beach. It's got its own little pool as well. So those waves and that high tide earlier really did come in. You can see the huge waves crashing over there in the distance as well. We've got the travelling lady boat trip coming in here, and good news is, if you're a follower of the channel, the Ragnarok Viking ship you can see just there, we're heading out on that hopefully this week. We're going to be filming an excursion courtesy of the Tenerife channel. They're sending us out to film the Ragnarok Viking ship, so that should be a good fun excursion video, something you very well may want to do. It does look good fun, so we'll be checking that out this week. But yeah, very unusual weather, very unusual. I'm sweating cobs. It probably looks quite cold on the camera. I'm sweating cobs here. So it's very warm, very humid. But yeah, it was really interesting to see. It has calmed right down, but it could easily. Look at this guy's just bathing himself there. Look at that. It's one way of doing it, isn't it? I feel like doing that myself. It's that hot. Well, there we go. It is now officially raining. So let's hope that that clears everything off. A little bit of rain this evening. It just feels really late. It feels like about 9 p.m. It's only 4 o'clock. So let's hope that all clears up. Hope you enjoyed a little bit of an update, a bit of information for you. If you have enjoyed it, make sure you do hit the subscribe, hit the thumbs up. Stay safe on the beaches. Very important throughout the year. You can swim in the ocean and the sea and all of our lovely beaches all year round, but do look after yourselves. Stride on.